welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is John Bunn, and I'm joined by my co-host, the co-pilot, my best good buddy, Nick Miller. Nick, happy Monday to you. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, doing all right. We had our retreat, last week, a couple weeks ago, whenever that was. And, whenever you go have fun for like 5 days and you go 2 time zones back and you stay up late with, good friends and stuff, it takes a little while to recover. So, just kind of little bit. Jen, my wife, who was on the retreat with us, she Monday was like, I'm not feeling great. And I think that just being over there, I don't know, she's been sick this week and my kids have been every other day. It's like, my throat's kind of scratchy. And so we're like, oh, are you getting sick? And then, a couple hours later, they're better. I don't know. So dealing with that. Also this weekend, the Chiefs, whom I am a fan of, have a big football game. And so I'm very excited. Yes.
Yeah, Mike, something happened. I missed the game, or I don't know what happened. The Cowboys didn't show up for their game. So football season's officially over. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So football season's officially over for me. It was really awesome. We went to Palm Springs with our Mastermind group. We've been in this mode of getting ready for the class of 2023 and finishing up with our class of 2022. We were in Palm Springs for 5 days, sitting around the pool or hot tub till 2 or 3 in the morning, California time, which is 4 or 5 in the morning, Oklahoma time, and Kansas time, and get back. And it's we got a message from Austin with our team. He's like, I'm finally feeling like I'm back to normal. And it's been 8 days later. And so we really pour into that. And then we're really smart and we decide, hey, we're going to open up our Mastermind class 4 days after we get back.
One of our Mastermind students, Aaron is his name. He's in Wichita, and I went to this Wichita vendors thing the other night, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Man, you guys are crazy for launching this stuff." And as I've shared with John, I was like, on paper, brilliant idea. You put all this, it's a brilliant idea to have this retreat, stay up super late, and then launch the next one a few days later while the hype is there. Brilliant idea. Really good. But now after living through it practically, I don't know.
We need a vacation. Yes.
We need a vacation. I don't know if practically it was the best idea, but on paper it was super smart.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. And, Mastermind for us, if you're listening to this, if you're a fan of what we do, you know what it is. But just as a quick refresher, it's our 12-month deeper training program with a weekly Zoom call. We bring in a bunch of guest speakers. We can see you can see us, and we really dive in with these people for 12 months weekly. There's a private Facebook group. There's all kinds of networking. And then at the end of the year, we host what we think is the best wedding filmmakers get together on the planet, right? We retreat and we get pampered, but also we do styled shoots and headshots and education and exploring and hiking and going to the gym together and doing all these things. And it's a magical, beautiful thing. It's amazing. You spend this year on 2 dimensions with people, and then opening night, it's the welcome party. 110 people are there, and it's all these people that already. It's you've been online dating for a year, and all of a sudden they're all in the real. And so it's just this overwhelming, amazing mountaintop experience, especially when you can have snow-capped mountains in the background and desert in front of you in Palm Springs. And it's it was unreal, and had a lot of time for people just to go hang out and be with each other, and got to go deep in conversations with a lot of our members and dance we were, it was 1999 because we had a 90s dance party. And all the hype, all the excitement. And then you fly home, and you're tired. And we, as How to Film Weddings, it's we're getting ready for next year, this upcoming class. And we're the only ones we know that are doing this. We're kind of pioneering these kinds of things. And, you kind of live and you learn. And in my head, as we're planning and getting ready for 2023 and wrapping up 2022, it's 10 times as much work as we should be doing, which wears everybody out. And then you throw in the idea that if you haven't noticed, especially in the American economy, things aren't great right now. Eggs are expensive. I eat eggs every day, and I'm just like, dang it, it's like $1 per egg now. Like, just little things like that, they start to add up, and people have some unrest and some, nerves about investing into their education right now. And that's what we're providing. We provide education. And if you think about like the landscape of what's been going on over the past few years with that virus that I will not name on the air because I think YouTube will give me a flag or something, but you know what I'm talking about. Everybody shut down their weddings, right?
Never heard of it.
Yes. It kind of shut everything down for a year. And then everybody was like, oh my goodness, 2021 and 2022, let's all get married and so last year during Mastermind launch, the getting was good, right? Everybody had weddings booked, everybody had extra money laying around and said, I'm ready to invest. And so we opened up day one last year and like 50 people joined, more like 10 more people than joined in the first year. We were blown away and ended up having what, Nick, 80 or something members last year?
Over 80. Yep.
Yeah. And so 80 members. And so like I'm running calculations. I'm numbers guy. I know how many people are on our wait list. I'm like confident in, we're going to book and have more people join on day one of this year than last year. And had just as many people on the wait list and opened up the doors and a handful of people signed up, but about 80% less than we thought were going to sign up. And I was like, wait a sec, do we suck? Imposter syndrome. We've got to shut down how to film weddings. We've got to quit. We're the worst. No, everybody figured us out. Like they realized that we're scam artists. We're all the haters. I can hear them already. And like all these thoughts start coming to my mind Monday. And Monday, I'm just sitting here like, wait a sec, as the day kept going on and like more and more people applying, but not then joining. And I'm like, what did we do wrong? We have twice as many guest speakers this year. And what was Monday like for you, Nick?
We were, John and I were chatting back and forth, and I was talking with Austin, who's on our team, and they're like, how are you doing? And I said, I'm going from everything's fine to everything's fine, but I'm the dog in the meme with the fire going on behind me. Like that's how I was going. I was like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Like I just kept going back and forth. And, it's one of those things that John and I strategically and purposefully didn't book as many weddings this year because we wanted to do full-time how to film weddings. Like we really want to pour into that and we want to just see where it will go. And Mastermind is a key part of us being able to do that. And, just seeing that things, this isn't what we thought was going to happen. And so I think John and I kind of went through all these worst case scenarios, in our minds. And I know you as a business owner, as you're listening to this, have been through those times as well, right? We're like, people aren't booking me, or I'm not getting any inquiries, or there's not jobs coming in, or whatever the thing may be. And so like, what do we do? And I know that I have lived my life as a business owner as, here's the thing, I'm putting it in front. And if no one hires me, then, well, there's nothing I can do. Right. Like it's just, there's nothing I can do. And John and I had a little call with our business sales coach, Sam Jacobson from ID Action. And he was just encouraging to us. And he's like, listen, it's down across the board. Like this isn't a you guys thing. This isn't a wedding video thing. He's like, photographers, planners, florists, everyone in the wedding industry that I'm talking to for 2023, their numbers are down. So how are we going? What are you going to do? How are you going to pivot? And I'm sitting there as well, crap, I guess the room's going to be on fire and I'm just going to sit here and say everything's fine. And John's like, nope, everything is not fine. And he starts brainstorming and starts thinking and starts talking. And I want to encourage you in your business this year, listener, like Mastermind, maybe not your thing, whatever, but I think that our situation can apply to you. Definitely. If you are feeling what can you do to pivot? What brainstorming things can you do to help the people reach out to you and make things look more desirable? And so John kind of went back to the drawing board and we kind of brainstormed some ideas and we talked about stuff, and we have shifted a few things about Mastermind to not to help the people that we know want to sign up, but maybe aren't in the financial situation to go all in at the price. So we made some other options and that sort of stuff. So what do you have to add?
Yeah. So like Monday, like Nick and I, it's this like this mountaintop moment. You're in Palm Springs. You've got like all these people that you love and you care for. Everybody's having the best time. You've got your wait list growing in the background. Like I'm seeing more and more people sign up the whole time I'm in Palm Springs, and just like, we're just going to rocket through this recession and it's going to be fine. Like things are going to be great for us. And we're going to get to like tell everybody how, how great we are and all these things. And you got all these stories in your head, and it's like, and Monday, all that kind of came to a screeching halt. Like we had people sign up. I just thought like 80% more people were going to sign up. And so after talking with Sam, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I went through like all the stages, right? I was like in grief and then denial and then like anger. And then I was like, okay, we talked with Sam. It's like, hey, here's where we're at. Here's what we're thinking. I've gone to the drawing board and here is what I'm thinking. Because we know we offer a really amazing product with Mastermind. Nobody's saying, well, that sucked. Everybody's saying best investment that I've made into, like, so we know that our product doesn't suck. And also we got outside perspective, somebody that wasn't in the middle of the fire behind them kind of moment, and saying, hey, are we crazy? And he gave us some perspective saying, I have photographers that I know that have done a $1 million of sales in the last 2 years that are down 80%. And I know of planners that are down. And Sam was actually in Palm Springs with us, and he was just like, this community is like nothing I've seen in the entire wedding industry in my 15 years of doing this, whatever. He's like, your community is strong. Your product is worth twice as much as you're offering it for. But that doesn't change the fact that where we are in the economy right now is that couples are not they're waiting to book their vendors. They're wondering if the crap is going to hit the fan with dollars. They're wondering. And he said something that I thought was really like a really great point, just about like there are going to be people that go out of business during this time in the industry, and those that can like be preparing and get themselves ready for when this storm passes are going to be the ones that have the most success. And I remember thinking in 2008, I was in business. It was like my second year in business. That's when the real estate bubble burst, and like nobody was spending money, and I had to change different offerings and things like that. But he said, it's kind of like waking up one day and somebody saying, hey, we're going to run a marathon today. And you're like, wait a second, where are my shoes? And are you going to be that kind of person in your business whenever things kind of get back to normal? Or will you have been training this entire time? Will you have gotten yourself ready? Will you have gotten your website ready, your packages updated, all these things? Are you going to be like, heck yes, I'm ready for the marathon whenever it's time to do that? Or are you going to be caught, with your pants down? Are you going to be caught like, wait a second? And that just made me like, during that conversation, like I felt this burden kind of lift from me of like, okay, we've got to change and we have to pivot what we're doing, because we know our product is amazing and we know there are hundreds of people that need it. And Nick and I are very passionate about helping people. Like the hugs we got at the retreat from people saying, I quit my full-time job. I'm doing this full-time. I'm making 50 grand more a year than I was in my salary. I'm taking care of my wife, my kids. I'm doing all these things. That is why we do this. Yes, we get paid to do it, but like, I don't want to, like, if I got paid a lot of money to, I don't know, lay concrete, I wouldn't be passionate about that. That's not what I want to be doing. Like, I want to be helping people. And so having that conversation with Sam was like the shot in the arm that we needed. And I have a lot more to say about it, but Nick, I wanted to throw it back over to you. If you have anything you want to add to that, because I want to connect the dots with our story and kind of give them a little bit of what we've done since and how much work we've put in and kind of what we've seen now that we're 6, 7, 8 days later.
Yeah. I think I just want to come back to, it's really easy to get depressed and get sad and just sit there and do nothing. I don't know what to do. People aren't inquiring. People aren't doing, people aren't booking me. People aren't doing this. And it's really easy to just sit back and woe is me. All right, I guess I'm going out of business. I guess I have to do this. And also, on the flip side of that, if people aren't booking and you're trying things and it's not working, there is no shame in you. Hey, I'm going to Uber for a bit. Hey, I'm going to DoorDash for a while. Hey, I'm going to go to Starbucks and work 20 hours a week. Like, there is no shame in any of that stuff. Okay. I think that, because so many of us are entrepreneurs and doing this stuff, it makes us feel like a failure because, oh, I had to change what I wanted to do, or people aren't, there's no shame in that, because at the end of the day, you are providing for yourself, you're providing for your family, and it's your mental health, it's your sanity, it's you taking care of the people in your life that matter the most. And so maybe you just need to hear from someone else, I'm giving you permission to do something else if you need to. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no shame in that. But where I would challenge people is if you're like, I don't have the bookings, people aren't whatever, but you're doing nothing about it. That's where I would challenge you to say, hey, why don't you change a couple of things? Why don't you try something different? Why don't you pivot before, maybe taking those steps of, okay, I need to find something else. So, and that's where John and I did, I don't know if we were like, okay, we're done, like we're closing shop or like that sort of thing. We weren't that desperate, right? Maybe in the back, in the dark places of our mind, we were, but way in the back. But we knew that we know the value, we know the importance, and so we decided to shift a few things to continue to offer this product. People at a price point that would help them out. And did I answer what
Sure.
you wanted to say? I don't know.
I just wanted to throw it back to you. You could say whatever you want. I agree with that. And I think somebody commented or sent us an email or DM'd us on Instagram like last week or two of like that they had to pick up some extra work and they're feeling guilty about it or whatever. And we want to give you that freedom to be like, hey, like we're in a weird situation. People are holding off on booking things. It's weird. I've been doing this for 16 years. I've never seen anything like this. My bookings from John Bunn Films, I'm not like, people aren't saying yes like they usually do. Like there's just a lot going on. And maybe you're out there and you're like, I got a full schedule. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, good for you. You're doing great things. But like we left that call with Sam on Tuesday, I think so. And it's like, hey, we're like 10% of where we thought we would be at this point. Like, what gives? What do you think? And I remember like sitting there with Nick and I'm like, okay, the value of what we're offering is worth it. Maybe the way that we're presenting it, or maybe what can we do to help people in their current situation? Like, we know we're not going to like discount this necessarily. And we're not telling you that you have to lower your prices, but we created an option. It was like, oh, we did pivot. And it's like, we usually have 12 months of payments. Like that has been great for year 1 and year 2 of Mastermind. Year 3, we were like, what if we made an option where people could spread that out over 18 months? Because we kept hearing, if I had more bookings, this is exactly what I need to, for my business. And it was like, well, this information is exactly what you need so that this time next year you have, like, you've weathered the storm, you've gotten ready for the marathon. Like, you can't just sit on the sidelines and wait. And so it was like, what if we offered an option that was 18 months? That cuts out $150 a month of what the payment would be or whatever. Or like, what if we offer an option that doesn't have a retreat ticket, but you can add a retreat ticket later? And we just started like playing around with these ideas. And then Sam said something to me and I was like, I didn't want to hear it, but I knew it was what I needed to do. And he said, if I were you, I would literally get on a phone call or a call with every single person that applies. And that's hundreds of phone calls or whatever of people. And not that I don't want to do it. It's just like, that's going to be hard work. A lot of people realize or know in their gut what they need to do to get what they need done, but they're not willing to do it because there's pain involved. There's like, and so I remember having a conversation with Heather and just saying, hey, just so you know, this is different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like last year where we opened the doors, 50 people sign up on day 1 and we're good to go. That's not what the case is. I know I've been in Palm Springs last week, but this week I'm going to be talking to people and seeing what we can do to make it work for them. And so since then, we have gone through every single application and sent either a voice message, a phone call, a text message, an email, like gone through one by one and answered. I've spent, I don't know, 20 plus hours on the phone, just talking to people and saying, where are you at? How can I make this work for you? How can I? And we pivoted, right? And lo and behold, like day 3, 5 or 6 more people sign up, 5 or 6 the next day, 8 or 9 the next day. And now we're actually recording this on, what is today? Sunday. So the day before you hear it. Yes. So now, a day before we close up. So the day that you're listening to this, if you listen live, is the last day to apply. We're sitting here with just as many booked in year 1 already, and space for what we think in the next 24 hours, people joining to have us exactly the right amount of people that we needed to have in the first place. So like I was telling Nick before we hit record, like today I'm more like, like this is my, like, okay, cool. Like all this hard work, but I've been putting in 12, 14 hour days. Nick's been putting 12, 14 hour days. People are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, that you're sending me a message. I can't believe you're calling me. I can't believe you're texting. And we pivoted. And what has happened is that it was a different path than we thought, but here we are where we needed to be. And it's because we got a different perspective from somebody that was outside of our current dumpster fire. We listened to their advice. We changed the offerings to fit people. And then we started doing work that most people at that point would have said, yeah, that's not where I'm not doing that. But why we are so excited about this, and this isn't just like a, hey, let's toot our own horn kind of episode, is that I was talking to Heather and I said, more so than anything, I know that there are people on the other side of this that need Mastermind. Like there are people that need this. I have watched 120 people go through it, and I have seen so much success from people in the questions that I'm getting and the people saying, I need this, but I just can't afford it right now. Or I need this, and it's like, I know I can't not afford it. I can't afford it. Like but I was talking to Heather and just saying, there are I know that I don't care what the final number is of people that join. I just want to make sure that I've put everything out there, all of the energy that I could, lay it all on the field. If you're a sports person, like I've given everything I have this week to say, if I think you're the right fit for being in Mastermind, and I can go to bed at the end of that knowing there's nothing else I could have done. And so I said to her, was just like, I don't care what the number is. I just care that the right people that are ready to grow their business are ready to go. And whatever I need to do to get them to say, yes, I'm not twisting arms. I'm not being a salesman. I'm just being real with people and where they're at and working with people. And what do you know? Like the hard work has paid off. Nick and I have to tell you about one of our favorite places to upload our wedding films, and that is Love Stories TV. Love Stories TV is one of the best free resources for us wedding filmmakers. The best part is they are bringing the couples to us. All we have to do is upload our films and we are good to go. Upload unlimited wedding films to your completely free business page. Setup is easy and your films can be live in just minutes. Now is the perfect time to start uploading to Love Stories TV. So head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to check out all of the details and see how Love Stories TV is giving away $10,000 in cash to wedding filmmakers just like you. That's howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to start uploading and connecting with the right couples today.
Hi, it's Michael from Wedditor. We want to thank everyone for the incredible support we've received since sponsoring How to Film Weddings. Yes, we've had some growing pains, but we've had far more wins. And we're doing something that's never been done. We're a remote team of over 50 editors in 10 countries. I often joke that we're as much a logistics company as we are a creative company. Right now, demand is off the charts. And we don't just say yes to everyone and scramble to figure it out. That's why we're asking you to help us help more of you. In short, we're looking for more talented wedditors, part-time or full-time, work from where you want, when you want, as long as you hit deadlines and deliver quality. It's a chance to get paid while growing as an editor. Our project managers work with you, explaining why something feels right or doesn't, because there's always a reason. If you're interested, we'd love to hear from you. Go to wedditor.com/editor and fill out our form.
Yeah, you've definitely put in a lot of work. I I have put in work, but it's been John behind the scenes that has done a whole lot.
Dude, you've been working. Our whole team has been going next level all week.
Yes, I know our whole team has been going next level. We're texting Austin and Jessica like, hey, here's this email. Can you get this ready to go in like 10 minutes? Thanks. Like wait, this is like 45 minutes of work. Let's do it in the next 10 minutes. Okay. I mean, they're definitely putting in the work, but it's one of those things where it's easy. I think it's easy to put in the hard work whenever the people that are in charge of it are putting in the hard work too. And so you've really been doing that. And so I just want to say thank you for that, condone you and say good job. And it was, not that it was hard for me to do the work, but it was easier for me to do the hard work, seeing how much hard work you were putting into the hard work, because your work is the best work of all the work. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And I don't mean to cut you off, but like, I think I had like this, I was really down on myself. Like, oh my gosh, like, Nick and I both own How to Film Weddings, but when it comes to like the business side of it, like that's my baby. That's my part of it, that it's like, I've got this, I'm thinking about launches, I'm doing like, that's my side of things. And Nick is thinking about the look, the feel, the vibe, the edit, the graphic, the design, the mood, it's like a really great 1-2 punch. And so whenever things are down on that side, like the business side of things, I take it personally. And I just, after talking with Sam, I was just that shot in the arm that I needed. And I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a mentor in your corner. And that's why it's like, if you're out there and you're thinking about Mastermind or whatever educational thing or what, it's just like, a mentor in your corner, like having someone like Nick and me in your corner outside of your perspective to help you make these pivots and these changes is invaluable. And I just, after talking to Sam, was like, okay, he said like, and I trust him. I'm friends with him and know that he has our best interest in mind. It's like, he said that we should be on the horn with everybody. And it's like, okay, that's the action step I know I need to do. And then like, I started putting in that work and started doing that things and having these awesome conversations with these people. It's gotten me even more excited for JJ and Bethany in California to join. And I'm just like, I'm so excited that they're part of this, or Justin's joining, or, it's like all these people I've talked to, or Chris, and you guys, if you're listening, hi, it's good to, talk to you again. But point being is like, it's really helped me to get grounded and to remind myself why we're doing what we're doing. It's not just about growth. It's not just about capitalism and growing and numbers and this. It's like what we do, we honestly believe really matters, and it's really changing people's lives. And so I leave that meeting with Sam and I think like, my team needs me now more than ever. And am I going to just kind of sit back and like, take my ball and go home? Or am I going to be a leader and do this? And maybe your family needs you to be a leader. Maybe your business partners need you to be a leader or whatever. And it's like, I feel like, for lack of better terms, it's like I've earned the trust of our team this week when it comes to like, they know that I'm going all in, and it just, everybody kind of followed suit. Like, well, if you're doing this, like I'm doing this. And if Nick's doing this, we're all doing this. And I think that momentum somewhere, it's like, which call was it? Which, it's every couple hours, it's like, hey, another person signed up. Hey, another person joined. Another person signed up. And like, you can just feel those weights, moving. And maybe you sit here today and you're like, I don't have any bookings. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Like we get it. And we encourage you to like, get with a mentor, have somebody look at what's going on with you, have them tell you the things that maybe you don't want to hear, but maybe you need to hear, and see what you need to do to put in that work. And in the meantime, yeah, maybe you deliver some coffees, or I don't know, but like, the storm will pass is where I guess I'm getting at, is like, the economy is going to bounce back. It's not like people are going to stop getting married or things like that. But maybe what you thought was your path. I said this to a friend yesterday. It was like, I thought my path this year looked like going from point A to point B. Like, Mastermind's going to do this. This is going to be course launches, this, that, all these, whatever stuff. And it's like, after Monday, I was like, A to B is not happening. It's going to be A to A point, A sub 1, A sub 2, 3, all the way over to get to where I thought I was or whatever. And it's opened up my mind to new and better ideas for like things that I'm thinking about now for, we could do this with How to Film Weddings. And so I embrace that. And if you're an entrepreneur, I would encourage you to embrace whatever state you're in and just lean into it. What do you have to
Okay. I'm gonna kind of go into a kind of wrap up a little bit and let people know like what we're doing today. Like
Yeah,
as
that is
we
neat.
launch this, as we launch this today. Today is and again, if you're listening to this podcast live on the day it comes out, today is the last day to apply for Mastermind. We are not closing down people to like sign up today, but today is the last day that you can apply. So make sure if you are interested in applying, it's it's one of those things where if you're going to be in Mastermind, we want you to commit to it, but you are making zero commitments to us if you apply. If you're any interested at all, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind and you can fill out that application. We will review it. If you're accepted, we will send you email. We will be in contact you and we'll give you a few days to make that decision because we know it's a big decision, for your business and financially and all of that. And we don't want people to be like willy-nilly about it, right? We want you to make that decision in full. Mm-hmm. The other thing, tonight at 7 p.m. on both our YouTube channel and in our Facebook group, the How to Film Weddings Facebook group, we are having a panel discussion of some former Mastermind students over the last couple of years. And maybe one of the speakers or two will be there to show up, but we're going to have like 6 to 8 people or so, including John and I, just going over and answering questions. That is a huge roadblock I think that people have with something like this is, well, I see all this stuff that you're putting out there, but is it going to work for me? Like, is it real? Like, I understand maybe you're skeptical of John and I saying it because we're the ones selling it, but we are bringing on people that we know that it has changed their businesses, it has changed their lives to answer your questions. So we have some panel discussion things we're going to ask them, but we also take your comments and, throw it to them and see what they have to say. So that's going to be tonight at 7:00 Central on our YouTube channel and also in our Facebook group. And another thing that we are doing a 60-day trial. Like the past couple of years, whenever we've done this, it has been we give you a contract. It's a year-long thing. Hey, Olaf, there in your coffee mug. We're sending people a contract. They sign it. You're required to be a part of it. 12-month commitment kind of thing. We're still going to send the contracts because we want there to be some sort of commitment, but we're putting a 60-day buffer in there that says if this just financially isn't working out for you, or you're not seeing the value in this program, we'll cancel your contract after 60 days so that you are not on the hook for the next 10 or whatever months of payments for that. And again, that was another barrier, another thing that John and I were like in the past, like, we don't want to do that. Like, we don't want to let people out because we knew the value was there, but they just needed to stick with it. Mm-hmm. But in this year, in this climate, with the financial commitment, it's like, okay, let's give something and kind of put, our butts on the line a little bit, I guess, if you want to put it that way, where we're like, hey, we believe in this so much that we're going to give you a 60-day guarantee. And if it's not for you, we will let you out of the contract and you will not owe us any other payments or anything like that. So those are a few things that are going on today. Anything you want to add before we wrap up and land this plane? Of course you do.
One of the things, like what Nick is saying about this 60-day try before you buy kind of thing, is when I talk to people on the phone, they were like, I just they're asking about the format, they're asking how it works, and they're like, what if it's not working for me? And it's like, we don't want to hold someone hostage or anything like that. We want people to realize that, like, we're so confident in this thing that we know that, maybe it might not be for a couple of people that end up joining, and we're okay with that. Like, we don't want you to feel like, well, shoot, I'm stuck in this or something. We've just had such a low attrition rate where it's like, we're confident enough that once you start hearing from one of the 26 guest speakers, I mean, in 60 days, you're going to hear from, 4 or 6 of them. You're going to have a lot of guest speaker talks. You're going to be hearing some of the stuff we're talking about intentionality and who we want to serve. I mean, all the stuff that we front load in the year to help you with bookings and help you with your website and your branding and all this stuff that we are confident that you're not going to want to leave this community after 60 days. And so all that we ask on that is that like you dive in. If you're gonna do it, like you show up to the trainings and you pour yourself into it, and your plan isn't let me get 60 free days, but like or 60 days, let me get 60 days of content, whatever. But the plan is we want to show you the steps you should take right now so you can start getting bookings and building more in business and seeing that like this is you preparing for that marathon. This is you taking those reps. And so, if you head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind, like Nick was saying, you can apply, and that does not mean that you're paying us. It just means that we're going to look through your application, and then we will get back to you and say, yes, you're accepted, and then lay out all of the payment options and things like that. I will say you can get started with Mastermind for $200. That's the low barrier, get in, $200 a month. You think about that, like for 26 guest speakers, 25 sessions of training with me and Nick, that's a crazy deal. And so we're really excited about that for you. So yes, tonight, 7:00 Central. If you're listening to this after Monday and you're like, holy crap, I missed it, I want to get in, send me a DM on Instagram at How to Film Weddings. There's going to be a tiny little buffer week or so there. So we're just looking for the right people that are ready to invest in their business. So I also say this in closing. It feels like I'm a pastor right now. In closing, if you're feeling a tug at your heart, no, I'm kidding. Is that too much? If I offended you, I'm sorry. Not you, but all the thousands of them. Is that like this week has been a difficult week for me. I was vulnerable on my Instagram page, just about like what I was going through, and like the community of so many of you that like sent me a text or a DM or phone calls. Like literally, it was probably about 40 or 50 messages or calls or from people like Catherine with Blink, or KEJ sent me a message, or like Ryan Sims in our previous mastermind group. All these people are just like, man, just so you know, you've got so much to offer to people, and you're doing such a good thing. And like, we're in your corner. And if you need anything, you need prayer, and it's like that kind of community is what we're all about here at How to Film Weddings. And I go back to our mission statement, which is to elevate the wedding film industry. And we know that this mastermind, we know that our podcast, we know that all of you growing together and learning and getting better, whether you're just listening to the podcast or on our YouTube channel, or if you do join our mastermind group, we're elevating the industry. And we're proud of that. And we're thankful for each one of you that are listening. We love you guys. And I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I love this team. I love getting to go to battle and figuring out how we can help people. And I'm just so freaking excited about 2023 and what all we're going to accomplish. There's so many big things coming up. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to my team, all my friends that have reached out, all of the people that sent messages on Instagram. Like, this has been like a week I will never forget. And I think that it has made me better, and that I'm going to be a better man, a better leader, better businessman because of it. So thank you. That's all I had to say, Nick.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
So I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're done. See ya. No.
All right, bye.
Again, if you would like more information about Mastermind, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind. There you can apply. Just kind of the quick short of it. It is a year-long program. We're meeting once a week via Zoom digitally. There are 26 guest speakers. If you want to go see that list that is on there, it's a bunch of the big names in the wedding video industry, including, we have a luxury planner. We have Sam, our sales coach. We even have Chapters. That's right. Music Beds Chapters is going to come on and talk about music to us and kind of what they're thinking. So the lineup is stacked. And then with that, there is an option for a retreat that we will do in January. That is our big celebration for the year, and that will happen in January of 2024. So again, apply, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind tonight, 7:00 on launch day. Remember our YouTube channel or our Facebook group. We are going live with a panel discussion of some of our former students and a speaker or two from this year. John, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate your heart. I appreciate your effort. I appreciate all the things that you've been doing. Austin, Jessica, Blake, If you're listening to this, same. You guys have been doing a lot. We really appreciate you guys. Listeners, if you need anything, let us know. Reach out to us if you have any questions about Mastermind at How to Film Weddings on Instagram. We're going to be in the DMs all day. So at How to Film Weddings on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, we will see ya.
See ya.
Are you looking for a better way to deliver your wedding films? Look no further. Our friends over at VidFlow provide the most flexible video delivery solution on the market. VidFlow is pay per use with no large upfront costs or commitment, and you can cancel at any time. VidFlow offers a premium viewing experience for all of your couples, accessible on mobile, tablet, desktop, as well as their very own suite of TV apps. Each project comes with 10 years of hosting and an experience for your couples that will blow them away. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/vidflow, where you can save 20% off a yearly business membership by using promo code HTFW20. Stop delivering your films the old-fashioned way. Give your couples something to rave about by using VidFlow.